and you're watching Medicare and Coffee on the Medicare Pro TV Facebook page. You might be seeing this on another channel because I have some other channels I'll publish this on as well. And this is the third time I've tried to do this because it's working. I mean, I've already gone through and kind of did my whole opening type section, which is not really a section. It's just an opening, and then it's cut off, and I had to delete it, and just annoying stuff. But that's okay. That's okay. I have much more reason to be annoyed this morning, which I won't go into. Just people that don't do what they say they're going to do. Don't you dislike that? As if I'm perfect. And I had an article here that I was just going to bring up, but it's gone. Because I wasn't even going to do this presentation. But I will tell you something. Yesterday, I touched on something about the psychiatrists or psychologists in the schools and how I thought, well, maybe that's not the very best idea. Well, you know, they had those, it wasn't too long back, it wasn't too far back, or too long ago, whatever you want to say, where psychologists were more like, you would call them a quack. I don't think they call them quacks anymore. It's so much because like everybody needs their pills now, right? So, can a psychologist even give pills, or does it have to be a psychiatrist? But anyhow, let's not go. I think it's easier to get pills now than ever. So I'm going to say psychologist. You go to psychologist, you can get a pill, one way or the other. Having said that, I don't take any pills. I'm lucky. I'm lucky. Having said that. They now, okay, understand this. Most of the psychology stuff it's kind of sort of a theory. There are hypotheses. It's like Freud may have a different baseline hypothesis than Carl Jung, or just, you know, they may be drawing from different sources. So the psychiatrist, I mean, okay, this isn't factual stuff. Okay, that's the point. There are studies, lots of studies, but there's no fact. It just isn't. There's no facts. And while I'm talking, I'm going to get to. I want to get to the. I'm going to get to my news page. But it's ridiculous. But here's the reason I bring this up. Oh, this stuff isn't happening just like in schools. Like they say they want psychologists in schools. And they want one for every 700 kids. Okay, one psychologist for every 700 kids. Well, that seems like, well, if you're going to have need a psychologist in all the schools, like one for every 700 is just not enough. But I think it's all just a bunch of nonsense. And I'm waiting for this to kick up here. Maybe I'll find it over here on this computer. Maybe not. I'll know in a second here. No, it's not there. That's okay. I got it here. So I was going to tell you this story about a friend of mine. I met him I saw him in a department store not too long ago, and and he just looked down and out, and I'm just like, hey, what's going on? And he says, like, well, my wife ran into one of her old high school sweethearts on Facebook, and now she left me. And I think I mentioned this before. It's just so terrible. You know what I mean? So anyhow, I posted this on. I had this. Yes, I did discuss this because I posted it. And here's what I want to tell you. I posted it, and that story, I already told that story. So, poor guy, that's what I'm going to say. Poor women, same thing happens. But, you know, these women say, oh, men are so bad. Oh, you women are just as bad. It's like, I read the statistics and the studies. It's just as bad. Oh, but I love you all. Everybody. Okay. I posted this. I was going to push it on Facebook, and they said no, because here's the title I gave the the Facebook show, that particular show. Facebooking old flames, and I was just discussing it. Facebook wouldn't let me post it. They wouldn't let me push it. It's like advertise it. They would not allow that, which I find very interesting that they would not allow that. Okay. Let's see. I got all this news here, but I don't want, I got all these emails. This news comes in. That's funny. I get an email from the Maryland Department of Transportation. I haven't lived in Maryland for 20 years at least. And I get an email from them randomly out of nowhere that they're closed Saturday. Maryland Department of Transportation, Maryland Motor Vehicle Administration closed Saturday. Customer courtesy alert. What? How can that be? I've never gotten an email from Maryland ever before, ever. And now all of a sudden, I'm getting an email from Maryland saying the Motor Vehicle Administration. I've lived in South Carolina for better than 20 years now. All right, let's go into the news. But again, that's funny that Facebook wouldn't allow that. Okay. A large employer frames the Medicare for All debate. You know that Medicare for All, they will eliminate all employer plans as well. They're talking about one plan for everybody. So that's really interesting. I wonder if those senators and congressmen, they exempt themselves from these things. Those rats. There's vermin. Oh, legal promises of equal mental health treatment often fall short. Amanda Bacon's eating disorder was growing worse. She had lost 60% of her body weight and was consuming about 100 calories a day. But that wasn't sick enough for her Medicaid managed care company to cover an inpatient treatment. She was told that she would have to weigh 10 pounds less, putting her 5'7" frame, 5 foot. I told you I have these Invisalign things, right? So on my teeth, so sometimes it's hard to talk. It's hard for me to talk anyhow. So she putting her 5'7" frame, 90-pound frame. Okay. She needs to be 90 pounds. I'm butchering this. So in other words, at 5'7", she'd have to be 90 pounds in order for them to admit her to a psychiatric unit. She says, I remember thinking, I'm going to die. Wow, I can't believe I was laughing. Oh man, this is no good. Because a lot of people, this is a serious illness. But I'm laughing kind of at myself and my inability to talk properly. But I'm also laughing that she, at 5'7", she'd have to be 90 pounds to be admitted. But I'm now laughing that she says, I remember thinking I'm going to die. I don't want to read any more of that. All right. I just want to find out what happened to her. Eventually, Bacon, now 35, switched to a plan that paid for treatment, although she said it was still tedious to get services approved. Welcome to the real world. You think this stuff is easy? Oh boy, many patients like Bacon struggle to get insurance coverage for their mental health treatment, even though 2 federal laws were designed to bring parity between mental health and physical health care coverage. Recent studies and a legal case suggest serious disparities remain. Look, mental health issues are important, and there's some that are just clear-cut, it's cut and dry, and that's it. But for mental health issues to have parity with physical health issues is not. That's not the same thing. Look, I'm going to alienate even more people. Yes, it's tough when people have, and there are, again, clear-cut mental health issues, but it's not the same. You can't compare it to physical health, because physical health, when you have COPD, you have COPD. I mean, they can almost touch it. You know, they could actually touch it inside your lungs. When you have a broken bone, you have a broken bone. When you're depressed, that's a different story. So these mental health issues are not the same. And the thing is, the government wants to give everybody the same for everything, and it's just, let me see this. It's not the same. It's just ridiculous. I want to find out what happened to this woman. So she eventually got treatment. I don't think they're going to say what happened. So United Healthcare was successfully sued in the class action lawsuit. Let's go back here. The Social Security error jeopardizes Medicare coverage for 250,000 seniors. Oh my God! This is at least 250,000 Medicare beneficiaries may receive bills for as many as 5 months of premiums they thought they had already paid, but they shouldn't toss the letter in the garbage. It's not a scam or a mistake. Okay, I want to tell you what happened here. If you have a Medicare Advantage plan and you had the premiums deducted from your Social Security check, Social Security and Medicare, in their communication, it may have broken down. And I don't need to read the story, I know what happened. It may have been that there was a breakdown in communication between these two behemoths. And therefore, as it says, 250,000 people may be losing their Medicare. And that would be more specifically, I believe, their Medicare Advantage or possibly their drug card. Let's see. It did not deduct premiums from some seniors' Social Security checks, and it didn't pay the insurance plans. According to the agency's frequently asked questions section on the website, the problem applies to private drug policies and Medicare Advantage plans. All right, just like I said. So it's a billing error. Yes, it happens. I don't think we should crucify them. People be like, oh, they're terrible. Oh, well, you know, they're terrible for other reasons. But you know what? Billing issues happen. It's just the way it is. Problem is, in this situation, somebody could lose their coverage. Let's see. What the hell? Fetal tissue research is latest flashpoint in abortion debate. We're not talking about abortion on this show. All right. Payroll tax is one state's bold solution to help seniors age at home. Payroll tax. Nearly a decade after federal officials discarded a provision in the Affordable Care Act that would have provided Americans with long-term care insurance benefits, the reason that they did away with that is because they couldn't afford it. Long-term care costs like $9,000 on average. I'm not sure what it is exactly, but it's at least $9,000 a month for full-blown nursing home care. $9,000 a month. There's no way that can be paid for through whatever. They try to get it on the Affordable Care Act. You can't pay for that. Who's going to pay for that? $9,000 a month. These people are insane. They're insane. You know what? It's unfortunate that people have such conditions that as they get older, that they have to be put in a nursing home, especially if it's full-blown nursing care. We have chronic conditions now in this at a level. I had a call coming in. One reason is that people are living longer, so as the life expectancy increases, so do the morbidity tables. And the mortality tables increase and morbidity tables increase, is what you would say. People live longer, there's more opportunity for disease to incapacitate somebody because they're on this earth for a longer period of time on average. And they're, and they have the medicines that keep them alive, whereas in the past those people perhaps would have passed away. Now, I'm certainly not up for that euthanasia stuff, so I'm not going in that direction by any means. Although people do support that kind of thing. So, goodness gracious, we can't get into that topic. Not at all. Not here. So anyhow, Washington and Hawaii are experimenting with taxpayer-funded plans to help older residents remain in their homes. Okay. Washington State's ambitious plan signed into law in May will employ a new 0.58% payroll tax, or premium, as policymakers prefer to call it, to fund a $36,500 benefit for individuals to pay for home health care. I mean, not the worst thing in the world. It's not going to work because it's the government doing it. And let's see, Washington State. I think Washington State, I don't know that they have a good state government, but I know they have some questionable cities there. And just the way it is. In other words, the local governments for some cities in Washington are very questionable. But this is good. This would be for providing services such as grab bars in the shower, to respite care for family caregivers. I tell you what, family caregivers take a beating taking care of an old person, especially if it's a heavier old person, just lifting them up and stuff. I have a client, and this woman, she's a saint. She's a wonderful woman, but she was taking care of somebody else, a family member, and that she ended up having to get 2 shoulder replacement surgeries. So, good figure. But she really is a wonderful, wonderful woman. Okay, I don't know why they put these things here. More stuff about Joe Biden. I don't care about that stuff. But it has, look, it's 1, 2, 3 articles about him. Joe Biden, okay, I'll read it since it's so big a deal, reversed himself Thursday night on one of the most important issues to the Democratic voters, saying he no longer supports a measure that bans federal funding for most abortions. Of course not, he wants votes. All those politicians are crooked. They're all corrupt. What did I call them earlier? Vermin. They are vermin. And if you think the one that you like is not vermin, you got a little bit to be desired. There's a couple of them that are good. I'm not mentioning any names. Not too many. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Oh, and there's more about abortion stuff. And more and more. Just all kinds of stuff here. All right, I'm going to go because I have a call. I think I know who called. That's my daughter's mom. So I'm going to call her back. I'm going to say goodbye to you, and I appreciate you all being here. Have a wonderful day. And I think somehow I'm going to sign out.